Alrighty, guys, following Sunday's sports wagering action, we're now 5-0 in our last $5.99 daily best plays on my website. And the link for my site is in the description section below. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video here today for Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I've been doing sports picks for free right here on YouTube since 2016. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. Once again, guys, I'm 5-0 in my last $5.99 daily best plays on that website. And if you want to access that play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. I currently have over 580 members who are signed up and active on my site right now. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the Phillies at the Braves, 107 Eastern first pitch. Atlanta's minus $1.85, total 6.5. Max Fried probable for the Braves. Ranger Suarez possible for Philadelphia. And as good as Suarez has been this season, the Phils have had some problems scoring against Atlanta. They're averaging just 3.8 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with the Braves. They also have a losing road record against divisional opponents this year. They're facing an Atlanta team here on Tuesday who's pounded the baseball all season long. These guys actually lead the National League in home runs. And no real surprise here, guys. This Braves lineup of hitters, they're currently in the top 3 in the league in runs per game. Matt Olson was 7th in the bigs this year in RBI with 103 of them. Meanwhile, Austin Riley finished 5th in the bigs and homers. Now, as a team, the Braves have been real good at Truist Park this year. They've got a .679 win percentage on their own diamond. Oh, and one more thing to add. Yeah, starting pitcher Max Fried. He's been really good this year. He went 14-7 in his All-Star season with an ERA of 2.48. And no real shocker here, guys. Fried's got himself a stingy 1.01 whip. Now, when it comes to the total, the Braves have averaged just about 5 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Philadelphia. So if you're into historical trends, certainly little problems scoring against the Phillies. As a matter of fact, 6 out of those 10 games I just mentioned got over the number. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Atlanta, minus 185, over 6.5. Next ball game, it is going to be Mariners at the Astros, 337 East. Houston's minus 210, total 7. Justin Verlander for the Astros, Logan Gilbert for Seattle. And as good as the Astros were this year, it's pretty tough to fade Seattle right now. These guys are red hot, and they're putting up a considerable amount of runs here as of late. Now, Cal Raleigh went 4 for 8 in the wild card series with 3 ribbies and 4 runs scored. Meanwhile, Eugenio Suarez, he was the club leader this year in homers and RBI in the regular season. Now, the Mariners actually do most of their scoring away from home. These guys are in the top 10 in road runs per game. They also have the youngster Logan Gilbert on the mound here today. And I'll tell you what, this guy's been like a beast this year. Aside from being physically imposing at 6'6", he's also gone 13-6 with 174 strikeouts. Now, he's facing a Houston team who actually took the loss in 2 out of their last 3 Justin Verlander starts. And when it comes to covering the 1.5, well, the Astros failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8 at Minute Maid Park. And of course, I'm referring to the run line. Now, total-wise, Houston's gone 60% to the under in their games on their own diamond. Meanwhile, the Mariners on the other side, they've gone 42-34 to the under against divisional opponents. I'm going to go ahead and lean towards Seattle, plus 1.5, under 7. Next matchup, it is going to be Guardians at the Yankees, 7:37 Eastern start time in the Bronx. New York's minus 220, total 7.5. Looks like Garrett Cole for New York, Cal Quantrill possible for Cleveland. Now, Quant's had a fantastic year on the mound for the Guardians. He's 15-5 with an ERA in the 3s. This Cleveland pitching staff's also shown incredible control in their travels. They're actually in the top 3 right now in fewest road walks per game. Now, offensively with the bats, the Guardians do the majority of their scoring away from home. I know they really didn't light up the scoreboard, especially in Game 2 of the Wild Card Series, but these guys do a great job scoring away from Progressive Field. They're actually in the top 5 in road hits, and they're currently the toughest team to strike out in the majors. They lead the league in fewest strikeouts per 9 at the dish. Now, Jose Ramirez, he finished the regular season with 126 RBI. He was actually third in the bigs in that category. Now, Cleveland's facing a Yankee team who kind of crawled past the finish line, toward the back half of the season. Obviously, they won the division. They got that first round bye. But you're looking at a team who should have easily won 100 games. I mean, it was right there, and they hit a pretty rough stretch there. But anyway, when the Bombers play at Yankee Stadium, they actually have a tough time making contact with the baseball. They're in the bottom 10 in home hits, and they're actually striking out more times a game at home than most clubs in the American League. Now, total-wise, 7 out of the Yankees' last 10 outings did fall under the number. I'm actually going to lean toward Cleveland plus 1.5, keeping this one close, under 7.5 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It is going to be Padres at the Dodgers, 9:37 Eastern start time. Now, the Dodgers are minus 205. Totals currently off the board. Clayton Kershaw possible for the Dodgers. Mike Clevinger probable for San Diego. Now, Clevy's coming into today's contest with a 7-7 record and an ERA in the 3s. And even though the Pods look great offensively against the Mets, they've been little threat hitting the long ball for most of the season. They also have to face the big lefty Clayton Kershaw, who's on the bump here today. And he was Tuesday, but he was nearly unhittable this season. Kershaw's 12-3 with an ERA of 2.28. Now, Kershaw also comes into Tuesday's matchup with a remarkable .94 whip. And if for some reason Kershaw does run into some problems in this game, he's backed by arguably the best lineup in baseball. Freddie Freeman finished second in the bigs with a .325 batting average. Meanwhile, Mookie Betts has a club best 35 home runs. He was 8th in the majors in that category. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Dodgers minus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Braves minus 185 over 6.5. Seattle plus 1.5 under 7. Cleveland plus 1.5 under 7.5. And with my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward the Dodgers minus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Monday or Tuesday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.